Hi there. All right, you are tuning in to listen in to how to exercise in your 40s so that you burn fat and get well this time for good. And don't stay stuck on that treadmill of losing the weight and gaining it back. That always ends up with you feeling like a failure who's never going to get it right. And that leads to you giving up on yourself. And that's where I come in because I was there and I had given up. I was 43 and desperate, exhausted, frustrated, anxious, gaining weight, working out all the time, feeling tired. My periods were wacky. I had PMS again. My moods were terrible. And I was desperate to feel better and really scared to try anything. Lucky for me, I stumbled upon the Faster Way to Fat Loss. And if you've been listening into me, you know I'm Amanda. I'm 44 now. This was a year and a half ago. And I thrived. I'm a wife. I'm a mom of two. And I'm also a Faster Way to Fat Loss coach now. So here's what I learned as a 40-something who is exercising and burning fat and getting well about what you have to do. You have to change what you've been doing. All that over exercising or just not exercising or under eating or running hours on the treadmill, taking every high impact cardio class you can get your hands on, eating as well as you can during the week and then kind of just going crazy on the weekend. All that stuff we used to do, we could get away with in our 20s and even into our 30s. But eventually your body says that's enough of that. And you start to feel and see the role that our hormones play and all the other pieces that are in play when it comes to fat burning and being well. It's just not as simple as exercise more and eat less. And that's why today I'm here to tell you step one is nothing to do with exercise. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. And it is that you begin to prioritize your rest. Now, don't turn this off and give me the side eye, or you're going to stay stuck where you are. If you want to be able to burn fat and get well using exercise in your 40s, you have to balance that exercise with rest because you cannot burn fat and get well when you are exhausted. Your body will not let you. Your body is very smart and is keeping you safe. And if your stress hormones like cortisol are too high because you're not getting enough sleep, not getting enough rest, you have too much stress in your life, and you pile on the stress that a lot of exercise can bring, your body isn't going to burn fat. The cortisol levels in your body will stand in the way and you will stay stuck, feeling exhausted and frustrated and anxious and gaining belly fat and not being well, and further putting your hormones out of balance and just doing more harm than good. I know that sounds hard to believe, but don't you feel it in your body if you're not feeling well right now with what you're doing? So how do you prioritize rest? Here's what I suggest. I'm going to give you a list, and then I challenge you to pick from the list, and I'm going to open up my blog to give you the list. And I will tell you, I can get to my blog post I just put up today with this specific list and these steps in it. I'm going to challenge you to pick as many of these steps as are reasonable for you to implement and give it a go for 7 days. You are having to build a new habit here if you don't already get enough rest. And it could be challenging, so let's just get into it. Here's what I suggest. First and foremost, I actually want you to start in the morning. I want you to get in some sunshine first thing. Maybe go stand by a window while you have your coffee or your breakfast, or put the window down while you drive, or get outside in as much sunshine as you can. That will help to set all of your hormones up for the day so that come nighttime, your body will be more ready to wind down. Then I want you to think about nighttime and work backward. I want you to establish a bedtime routine that will have the purpose of winding down your mind and body. Maybe it will include having a warm cup of tea, maybe prayers, maybe a warm bath, maybe you'll journal, and maybe your warm bath will have Epsom salts, which contain magnesium, which has been shown to help you sleep well, fall asleep and stay asleep. You could wash your face. You could write out a to-do list for the next day to get some things off of your mind. You could spend 5 minutes journaling about every positive thing you can think of to make you feel well before you sleep. So you're going to establish a bedtime routine with the purpose of winding down your mind and body, and you are going to stick to it for those 7 days. Part of that should include that you're going to stop 2 things. You're going to stop screen time by 1 hour before you want to be asleep, and you're going to stop caffeine by noon at the very latest. And I told you this was going to sound hard, and you can take this step by step, but this is vital. This is your health and wellness. And screen time that lasts all the way until you try to sleep is standing in your way. It is an obstacle. And caffeine afternoon is standing in your way. It is an obstacle. I know because research tells us, I know because I've lived it. You know, it's just the truth. In fact, you probably want to shoot for maybe just 1 6 to 8 ounce cup of caffeine in the morning and then be done. It's a long road, I get it, but try this for 7 days. Cut yourself off caffeine by noon. Start there. Then let's talk about 2 more pieces. I want you to use mindful stress management at some point during the day as one of these steps. This could look like a 10-minute walk during some break in your daily schedule so that you can shake off the stress that has piled upon your shoulders up to that point. Maybe you only shake off this much, but that's better than nothing. And you can eventually build on more and more mindful stress management, and that will have an impact on your cortisol level, and that will impact your ability to burn fat. Last but not least, if you already have an exercise routine, I challenge you to build minimum of 2 days of rest into that routine. So ideally, you could be doing some type of exercise 5 times a week, and then 2 times a week, I challenge you to build in a rest day or a rest and recovery day. A rest day where you simply don't exercise, or a recovery type day where you take a walk, you do yoga, you go on a hike, you take a really gentle swim, you play a little bit in the yard with your kids, that type of recovery. So those are about 7 pieces. And like I said, this will all be written out on my blog post that's up today, and I will link to it in the comments. So you can go pick and choose which of those steps can you actually implement for 7 days and see how you feel. By then, you will have made some inroads into your stress and cortisol levels in your body. And those changes alone, if you already have an exercise routine, could start to put some fat burning and wellness in motion. I know sometimes we want to write off these fluffy ideas as, well, does that really work? But this is your foundation. These foundational items do really work. They're all science-based, and they're all very important, especially for us 40-somethings, because when you're at this point, you got to have all of the pieces in play. All right. Now, if you already have established a nice base of rest and sleep, you're getting your 8 hours of sleep a night. You're going to bed at about the same time and getting up in the morning at about the same time, 7 days a week. You're feeling pretty well rested. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're saying your sleep and restfulness is at least like a 7. Then you're ready for step 2. And step 2 is to do less cardio. I will not talk all about that today. I'll save it for tomorrow. But if you want to read ahead and you're ready to go on this, I want you to check out my blog post about how to exercise in your 40s. And the spoiler is that you will be doing less cardio. It all goes back to those stress hormones, ladies and gentlemen too. So check out those blog post links in the comments so that you can actually take what I've said today and put it to use starting tonight or starting tomorrow morning when you hop in front of that sunny window. And then let me know how you're feeling. Check back in, pop back into the comments of this video, and let me know what steps you tried and how you made it work. And we'll keep getting you well. Before you know it, you are going to be burning fat and getting well using this exercise in your 40s.